Genesis chapter 19. And there came two angels to Sodom at even, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom. And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face toward the ground. And he said, Behold now, my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early, and go on your ways. And they said, Nay, but we will abide in the street all night. And he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned in unto him, and entered into his house. And he made them a feast, and did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round, both old and young, all the people from every quarter. And they called unto Lot, and said unto him, Where are the men which came in to thee this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. And Lot went out at the door unto them, and shut the door after him, and said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. Behold, now I have two daughters, which have not known man. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing, for therefore came they under the shadow of my roof. And they said, Stand back. And they said again, This one fellow came in to sojourn, and he will needs be a judge now? We will deal worse with thee than with them. And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door. But the men put forth their hand, and pulled Lot into the house to them, and shut to the door. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door. And the men said unto Lot, Hast thou any here besides, son-in-law? And thy sons and thy daughters, and whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place. For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxen great before the face of the Lord. And the Lord hath sent us to destroy it. And Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-law, which married his daughters, and said, Up, get you out of this place, for the Lord will destroy the city. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his sons-in-law. And when the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife and thy daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city. And while he lingered, the man laid hold on his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his two daughters, the Lord being merciful unto him, and they brought him forth, and set him without the city. And it came to pass, when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, Escape for thy life, look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain. Escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed. And Lot said unto them, Oh, not so, my lord. Behold, now thy servant has found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which has shewed unto me in saving my life. And I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me, and I die. Behold, now this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. Is it not a little one? And my soul shall live. And he said unto him, See, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, but I will not overthrow this city, for the which thou hast spoken. Haste thee, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou will become thither. Therefore the name of the city was called Zoar. And the sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities that were and that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. And Abraham got up early in the morning to the place where he stood before the Lord. And he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah, and toward all the land of the plain, and beheld, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a furnace. And it came to pass, when God destroyed the cities of the plain, that God remembered Abraham, and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow, when he overthrew the cities in the which Lot dwelt. And Lot went up out of Zoar, and dwelt in the mountain, and his two daughters with him. For he feared to dwell in Zoar, and he dwelt in a cave, he and his two daughters. And the firstborn said unto the younger, Our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come in unto us after the manner of all the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night. And the firstborn went in and lay with her father, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. And it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said unto the younger, Behold, I lay last night with my father, let us make him drink wine this night also. And go thou in, and lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night also, and the younger arose and lay with him, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. Thus were both the daughters of Lot with child by their father. And the firstborn bare a son, and called his name Moab, the same as the father of the Moabites unto this day. And the younger she also bare a son, and called his name Ben-Ammi, the same is the father of the children of Ammon unto this day. This chapter is one of absolutely unmitigated, unbroken disasters from the beginning to the end. We find that when the two men went, they were going to went in there. Lot was sitting in the gate. You need to understand the significance of that. When they built gates in those days, the gates were the center of the administration of all of the affairs of the city. For Lot to be sitting in the gate meant he had to be an official of the city. That means he had to be trusted by the ruler, the king of Sodom. He had to be recognized by the people as somebody whose opinion, whose decisions they would accept. Lot had gone from being righteous and being with Abraham to being part of the most totally corrupt city on the face of the earth. And liking it there, apparently, being quite willing to do whatever he wanted there. These men were going to spend the night in the street, but he pressed them greatly. He knew what would happen if they tried to spend the night, he assumed, if they tried to spend the night in the city gate. He knew the vile sexual filthiness of the entire city. And he didn't want that to happen, so he pressed them greatly to come to his house. They showed up at his place, he prepared a feast, and then people obviously knew that they had come, and so the men, people from every quarter, showed up outside the door and demanded that Lot, one of their officials, give them these two men to be abused sexually. And when Lot tried to defend against that, they said, no, it'll be worse for thee than it was for them, for them. These people in Sodom were so totally depraved that they demonstrated it. Now, the only way that they were prevented, these men from Sodom were prevented from breaking into the house, was that the angels that were with Lot made them blind, so they couldn't even find the door. And then they warned Lot, all of your family, take them out. We're going to destroy this place. There isn't 10 here. There might not be 2 here who are righteous. You guys get out because this city is going to go up in smoke. Lot goes and he tries to tell 2 of his sons-in-law who have married 2 of his daughters, and these guys think he's joking. So they don't do anything. Lot goes back home, and in the morning he's going to leave, and the guys say, get out. And Lot's still hanging around. And they take him by the hand and they get him outside, and they say, go to the mountains and flee because we're going to wipe everything out here. It's gone. And he said, no, I don't want to go to the mountain because I'm afraid something might happen to me. How about I go to this little city over here called Zoar? It's just a tiny place. Everything's okay, all right? So they let him go there. They don't destroy that city, but they clean everything else off the face of the earth. They kill it all. Then finally, Lot's scared to live in Zoar. It's okay to live in Sodom, but he's scared to live in Zoar. So Zoar must not have been a very nice place either. He goes up in the mountains, and there his daughters commit incest with their father. And can't imagine how Lot would have felt to realize that his own daughters were pregnant by him through their own unrighteous doing. Just unmitigated disaster for this man because he wasn't willing to live according to the commandments that Abraham had received.